embark on a journey that will take us through some of the powerful and moving stories. We might witness struggles and triumphs. We might also witness happiness and grief.
Just immerse yourself fully in the world that the artist is about to create. Just allow yourself to be transported to a different world altogether.
We present before you an excerpt from William Shakespeare's tragedy Macbeth. The play tells the story of Macbeth, a Scottish general. Amid a raging storm on a desolate Scottish heath, three shadowy figures appear. The air is thick with foreboding as the witches gather to weave their dark prophecy. This is the beginning of a tale of ambition, power, and treachery. The tragic rise and fall of Macbeth.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly is done, when the battle is lost and won,
that will be at the set of sun.
Where the place?
upon the heath,
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls,
Anon.
Fair is foul and foul is fair, over through the fog and filthy air.
On a bloody battlefield, King Duncan receives word of a hard-fought victory. A brave sergeant recounts Macbeth's heroic deeds. Impressed by Macbeth's valor, King Duncan rewards him with the title of Thane of Kowdiar.
Who is this bloody man? Judging from his appearance, I bet he can tell us the latest news about the revolt.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king what you know of the state of the battle when you left it.
The outcome of the battle seemed very uncertain. The two sides could be compared to two swimmers. Do cling together and make it impossible for either to swim. Macdonald was unable to stand against Macbeth, who really deserves to be called brave. Macbeth, like a valorous minion, forced his way through the soldiers, came face to face with Macdonald, and split his body from the navel to the jaws, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
As soon as the Irish soldiers ran for cover, the Norwegian king saw his chance to attack us with fresh troops and shiny weapons. Maybe they wanted to take a bath in their enemy's blood. I feel weak. My wounds must be tended too.
Go, get him, sergeants.
The worthy Thane of Rose.
God save the king.
Where have you come from, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Kowdiar, began a dismal conflict till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, repelled his arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness! The Thane of Kowdiar will never again betray me. Go announce that he will be executed and tell Macbeth that Kowdiar's titles will be given to him.
I'll get it done right away.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
The three witches meet Macbeth and Banquo on a heath.
A drum! A drum! Macbeth has come! The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is the foes? What are these creatures, so withered and wild in their appearance, that they don't look like beings of this earth, yet they stand upon it? Do you live? Can you be questioned?
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Kowdiar.
All hail Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and fear things that sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you real or mere illusions? You greet my noble partner with promises of greatness and royal hope, leaving him entranced. But you say nothing to me. If you can see the future and know which seeds will grow, then speak to me, who neither seeks nor fears your favors or your hate.
Hail, hail, hail! Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
You will get kings, even though you be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I'm Thane of Glamis, but how about Kowdiar? The Thane of Kowdiar lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Kowdiar. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such profiting greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither have they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed solid melted as breath into the wind. I wish they had stayed longer.
Were such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten some roots that make us hallucinate?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And the Thane of Kowdiar too. Isn't that what they said?
Yes, those were their exact words. Who is here?
Macbeth, the king had happily received, Macbeth, the news of your success. And when he heard your personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders are as great as his praise for you. In reviewing all the events of the day, he heard you fighting the Norwegian army, unafraid of death, even as you killed those around you. Messengers came in one after the other, and everyone praised your gallant fighting, defending your country against the enemy.
We have been sent by the king to thank you. He will reward you for your service.
As taken of great honor, which the king will bestow on you, he asked me to address you as the Thane of Kowdiar. We greet you, most worthy Thane, with the title which now belongs to you. Lady Macbeth reads a letter from Macbeth where he shares the witch's prophecy that he will become king. Determined, she resolves to influence him with her own resolve, pushing him to claim the crown that fate has promised.
Glamis and Kowdiar you are, and shall be what is promised. Yet, I fear your nature, it's too full of human kindness to take the quickest path. You have ambition, but lack the necessary ruthlessness. You'd have great Glamis. What requires actions you fear more than you desire. Hurry here so I can pour my spirit into you and use my bold words to overcome what hinders you from the crown fate seems to offer. Great Thane of Glamis, noble Thane of Kowdiar, greater than both by the prophecy of the witches, your letter has carried me beyond this present time. Now I feel the future as if it existed in the present.
King Duncan is coming here tonight.
And when does he go away from here?
Tomorrow, as he plans.
Oh, that tomorrow shall never come. My Thane, your face betrays your troubled thoughts so that others can read it like a book. To deceive all others, you have to look exactly as they do. When you greet the king, do so completely with your eyes, hands, and words. Look like an innocent flower, but be the snake that hides beneath it. The king must be taken care of. Allow me to manage everything tonight, because the events of this night will bring us sole mastery and power for all our nights and days to come.
We'll speak about this further.
You must look bright and cheerful. If your face changes color, it will suggest that you are afraid.
Determined to push Macbeth towards their dark ambitions, Lady Macbeth plans to steal his resolve and get him to act decisively. As she prepares for his arrival, she prays to the spirits to help her overcome any obstacles and ensure that Macbeth achieves the crown that fate has seems to promise. King Duncan arrives at Macbeth's castle, praising its pleasant and welcoming atmosphere. He marvels at the hospitality and the beauty of the surroundings, unaware of the dark intentions that await him.
If the murder could do away with its own consequences, ensuring a good result, I would willingly risk the life to come to fulfill my desire here. In the first place, I am his relative and his subject, and so I should not think of murdering him. Secondly, I'm his host, and so I must guard him against the murderer and not take arms myself. Well, what news do you bring?
King has almost finished supper.
Has he asked for me?
Don't you know that he has?
We shall proceed no further with this plan. He has conferred on me honors lately, and I have won good opinion from all ranks of people. Such honor and good opinion must be kept fresh and bright, and not thrown away so soon by committing a wicked crime. What would happen if we should fail?
How can you think of failing? Screw up your courage to the sticking place, and we will never fail. When Duncan is asleep, and the hard journey of today will make him sleep soundly, make his 2 bedroom attendants excessively drunk with wine. When the guards are in a state of drunken sleep, we can do anything we choose to the unguarded Duncan. We can accuse the drunken officers of having murdered the king, while we ourselves do the murder.
I am now fully determined. I shall use all my physical power to commit this terrible act.
Lady Macbeth waits nervously while Macbeth carries out the murder.
I have done the deed. Did you not hear a noise?
I heard the screaming of the owl and the cry of the cricket. Go get some water and wash the stains of blood from your hand. Why did you bring the dagger from the place of murder? They must be left there. Go and carry them back and smear the sleeping guards with blood.
I shall not go there again. I don't have the courage to look on it again.
Give me the dagger. The sleeping and dead are only like pictures. If Duncan bleeds, I will smear the faces of the guards with his blood, because it must seem that they are guilty.
How blood-stained are my hands. They hurt my eyes. Will all Neptune's ocean wash this blood from my hands? No, my blood-stained hand will rather redden the whole mighty ocean.
All hail Macbeth! Fair is foul and foul is fair. Over to the fog and filthy air.
Christ Nagar.
Next code number on stage 02. Judges, please note code number 02 for drama English.
Good morning, Christ Nagar. Today, we, the Expo House, is presenting before you Antigone, the Athenian tragedy written by Sophocles in the 5th century BC. Here we present its dramatic version. The city of Thebes is in turmoil due to the tragic civil war. King Creon has decreed that Polynices, who had fought against Thebes, should not be given a proper burial, and his body should be exposed to the elements as a traitor. Polynices, Antigone, Polynices' sister and Oedipus' daughter, defies the king's orders by choosing to honor her brother with a proper burial, setting a stage for a profound clash between duty to family and obedience to law.
Ismene, can you believe Creon's decree? Our brother Polynices, condemned to lie unburied, denied the honor of the dead. His soul will never find peace.
Antigone, I understand your grief, but we are only women. How can we defy the king's edict? The punishment is death.
We are more than mere women. We are human beings with a duty to our family and to the gods. The law Creon has made is an affront to divine justice. Polynices fought for what he believed was right, and he deserves the rights of burial, regardless of Creon's orders.
But Antigone, the king's word is law. If we disobey, we are bound to face death. Can you face such a fate?
I fear no mortal's decree. The eternal laws of the gods, those that command us to honor the dead, are greater than any king's edict. I will bury Polynices with or without your help, and I will face death with honor if I must.
You are so brave, sister, but also reckless. I cannot join you in this defiance, but my heart goes with you. Please, be careful.
I understand, but I cannot stand idly by. Goodbye, Ismene. May the gods protect us both.
Citizens of Thebes, the time has come to establish law and order after the chaos that has beset our city. Eteocles, who died defending our home, will be honored with full burial rites. However, Polynices, who brought war against us, is a traitor. His body shall remain unburied, left as food for scavengers. This is the decree, and any who defy it shall face death.
O king, your words are clear, yet we must urge you to temper your justice with wisdom. The gods' laws, those unwritten and unchanging, demand respect for the dead. To deny burial rights is to offend the divine.
The city cannot tolerate insubordination. The gods are with us when we stand for justice and order. Polynices betrayed his city and his people. He shall receive no honor in death. The rule of law must be upheld without exception.
As you decree, so it shall be, O king. But be aware, for the gods are not bound by the laws of men. The city watches and whispers of the dangers of hubris.
Antigone, defying Creon's harsh decree, covers her brother Polynices' body and performs the funeral rites. In the stillness of the night, her actions are both a final act of love and a bold challenge to the king's authority. The oath she places over him becomes a symbol of her defiance.
O spirits of our ancestors, accept my brother into your arms. May he find peace in death that was denied him in life. Though I am only one, I honor him as all the gods would wish.
Halt! What are you doing? Do you defy the king's orders?
I obey the higher laws of the gods. Your king's orders cannot override the divine commandments. My brother deserves a proper burial.
You know the penalty for this crime. We must take you to the king.
Do as you must. I'm prepared to face the consequences of my actions. My conscience is clear and my duties to the gods fulfilled.
You stand before me, Antigone, accused of defying the laws of the state. You were found burying Polynices despite my explicit command. Do you deny these charges?
I do not deny them. I did what I had to do. The edict was unjust, and I chose to honor my brother according to the eternal laws of the gods, which demand that the dead be given proper rights.
You are a daughter of Oedipus, and yet you defy the king's orders. Do you not fear the consequences of your actions?
I fear only the wrath of the gods, nor the wrath of men. Your decree cannot annul the laws of heaven. I would rather face death than leave my brother's soul unburied and condemned.
Ha! Such insolence! You speak of divine law, but what about the law of the land? Without order, chaos reigns. You have placed your own beliefs above the good of the city.
The good of the city cannot come from injustice. The people whisper in secret that you're wrong, but they fear to speak. I speak for the voiceless, for the divine justice that transcends your moral laws.
Enough! You have confessed your crime and shown no remorse. You will be imprisoned in a cave, left to die. Your fate is sealed.
Oh, tragic house of Thebes, your wars are unending. The clash between divine and human law brings only sorrow. May the gods have mercy on us all.
In the cave, Antigone is resolute, yet deeply anguished. She grapples with a mix of sorrow, defiance, and acceptance of her fate, knowing she's about to face death for her actions. Despite her fear, she remains steadfast in her belief that she did what was morally right.
I've honored my duty even as it leads me to this end. The path of righteousness is never easy, but I accept my fate. If the gods are just, they will see my truth and the love that drove my actions.
Antigone, you have defied the law and brought this upon yourself. The punishment must be carried out.
I've done what I believed was right. If the gods wish to punish me, I will face it with dignity.
Your fate is sealed. You will be entombed alive in this cave.
Father, how can you condemn her? She acted out of love. Her sacrifice was not an act of rebellion, but of duty to the gods.
The law must be upheld, no matter the personal cost. If I yield now, all authority will crumble.
You sacrifice your own family and your son's love for the sake of a law that defies divine justice. If you persist, you will lose everything.
In the final part of the play, as Creon stands amidst the bodies of his loved ones, the full weight of his tragic mistake crushes him. He realizes too late that his rigid enforcement to law and pride led to unnecessary death and suffering, leaving him alone in his guilt and despair. The story ends with a stark reminder of devastating consequences of pride and the importance to love and compassion.
The king's family is stricken with grief. Eurydice, Creon's wife, has heard of the deaths and has taken her own life. Haman, in despair, has also ended his life beside Antigone's tomb. The gods have punished Creon's hubris severely. He has lost his wife and son to the tragic consequences of his rigidity.
My son, my niece, my wife, what have I done? The gods have punished me for my arrogance and stubbornness.
The price of hubris is steep, and the cost of inflexibility is destruction. Let this tragedy serve as a lesson in humility and justice.
By his pen name, O. Henry was an American writer known primarily for his short stories. The Last Leaf is a short story by O. Henry, published in 1907. Welcome to our presentation of The Last Leaf. In a little district west of Washington Square, a colony of artists settled, attracted by the low rents in the buildings abandoned by the companies, so prosperous until the crash. At the top of a squatty 3-story brick, Sue and Johnsy had their studio. They had met in May and enjoyed each other's company so much that the joint studio resulted. In November, a cold, unseen stranger, whom the doctors called pneumonia, stalked about the colony, touching one here and there with his icy fingers. Johnsy, he smote. Her thin blood was no match for pneumonia. Sue was beside herself with worry, and the only shoulder to cry upon was that of old Behrman, a painter who lived on the ground floor below them. Behrman was a failure in art. He had wielded the brush for 40 years, always about to paint a masterpiece, but had never yet begun it.
Good afternoon, Miss Sue.
Good afternoon, Mr. Behrman. Any luck with your paintings today?
Nothing today. Here, let me help you with the groceries.
Thank you, but I think you've got your hands full enough. Ah, Mr. Behrman, this is beautiful. Is it new?
I painted it today. I could have sold it too for $20. How is she? Miss Johnsy, I mean.
I'm going to make her some soup. She seems to be getting worse. The doctor is on his way.
Oh, such a foolish girl, painting out in the cold like that for hours. Now she gets pneumonia and perhaps dies. I'm sorry. I mean, she's such a sweet young thing and such a talent, a gift for painting. Listen, you tell her I'll make a prayer for her.
Thank you, Mr. Behrman.
She has one chance in, let us say 10, and that chance is for her to want to live. Your little lady has made up her mind that she's not going to get well. Has she anything on her mind?
She wanted to paint the Bay of Naples someday.
Paint? Has she anything on her mind worth giving a second thought to? A man, for instance?
A man? Is a man worth? No, doctor, there's nothing like that.
I will do all that science in as far as is filtered through my efforts can accomplish, but when a patient of mine begins to count the carriages in a funeral procession, I must subtract 50% from the curative power of medicine.
Did I tell you I saw old Mr. Behrman on my way back from the market? I saw his new painting. Oh, you should see it. It's wonderful.
Still trying to paint his masterpiece.
You shouldn't have bothered. I really don't want any soup.
Oh, Johnsy, you must eat something. You need your energy. I'll just leave it here next to you. Try to have a little at least.
5.
What is it, dear?
4. They're falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. It made my head ache to count them. But now it's easy. There are only 3 left now.
3. What, dear? Tell your Sue.
Leaves on the ivy vine. When the last one falls, I must go too. I've known that for 3 days now. Didn't the doctor tell you?
I've never heard such nonsense. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? And you used to love that wine. Why, the doctor told me that your chances for getting well. Let's see exactly what he said. He said your chances were 10 to 1. Why, that's almost as good a chance as we have in New York when we ride the streetcars or walk past a new building. Try to take some soup now and let Sue go back to her drawing so she can sell it.
I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I'll go too.
Oh, Johnsy, will you promise me to keep your eyes closed and not look out of the window until I am done working? I must hand those drawings in by tomorrow.
Couldn't you draw in the other room?
I'd rather be here by you. Besides, I don't want you to keep looking at those silly ivy leaves.
Tell me as soon as you're finished. I want to see the last one fall. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of thinking. I want to turn loose my hold of everything and go sailing down, just like one of those poor, tired leaves.
Try to get some sleep. I must call Mr. Behrman up to model for a new illustration.
Are there people in this world who will die because some leaves drop from a vine? I've never heard of such a thing. Why do you let such silly thoughts enter her pretty little head? No, I will not pause for you.
She is very ill and weak, and the fever has left her mind morbid and full of strange fancies. Very well, Mr. Behrman, if you do not care to pose for me, you needn't.
Who told you I will not pause? I come with you. This is no place for someone as good as Miss Johnsy to lie in sickness. Someday I shall paint my masterpiece and then we can all go away.
Is the last one. I thought it would surely have fallen during the night. I heard the wind. Today it will fall and I will die at the same time.
Think of me if you won't think of yourself. What would I do?
Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how wicked I was. It is a sin to want to die. You may bring me a little soup now and some milk. No, wait. Bring me a hand mirror first. I will sit up while you cook. Sue, Someday, I hope to paint the Bay of Naples.
You will. We both will.
Even chances, with good nursing you will win. Now I must turn to a case I have downstairs. Behrman, his name is, pneumonia too. He's an old, weak man and the attack is acute. There's no hope for him, but he goes to the hospital today to make him feel more comfortable.
Thank you, doctor. I'm so sorry. Yes, I will. Thank you for calling, doctor. Bye. I have something to tell you. Mr. Behrman died of pneumonia today in the hospital. He was ill only 2 days. The janitor found him on the morning of the first day in his room downstairs, helpless with pain. His shoes and clothing were wet through and icy cold. They couldn't imagine where he'd been on such a dreadful night. And then they found a lantern still lighted and a ladder that had been dragged from its place, some scattered brushes and a palette with green and yellow paints mixed on it. And look out of the window, dear, at the last ivy leaf on the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never fluttered or moved when the wind blew? Oh, sweetie, it's Behrman's masterpiece. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell.
Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. In the last leaf, O. Henry weaves a tale of hope, resilience, and the power of art. Life's adversities can be overcome through the strength of the spirit and the support of those around us. Hope should be clung to as tenaciously as the last leaf clings to the vine. We should find beauty and purpose in our struggles. This story stands as a testament to the profound impact of small acts of kindness and the capacity for selfless love.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the timeless classic, Julius Caesar, a tragic tale of power, ambition, and betrayal, written by the renowned playwright William Shakespeare. This play has captivated audiences for centuries with its thought-provoking themes and complex characters. Set in ancient Rome, this play revolves around the conspiracies against Julius Caesar, a mighty dictator who has risen to an unprecedented power. As Caesar's popularity increases, so does the fear among the senators who worry about losing their power, influence, and control. As we present this iconic play on stage, we invite you to immerse yourselves in the ancient world of Rome, to witness the struggles
of its legendary characters and to reflect upon the enduring relevances of William Shakespeare's words in our modern world. So get ready to witness suspense, drama, and tragedy of Julius Caesar, a theatrical masterpiece that will leave you pondering the age-old question of humanity's quest for power and glory.
Hail Caesar, mighty Caesar, hail Caesar, mighty Caesar, hail Caesar, mighty Caesar. Hey. You too, Brutus, let me die.
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets.
Some of you run to the public platforms for speakers and proclaim liberty, freedom, and the right to vote.
People and senators, do not be afraid. Do not run away. Stand quietly. Ambition has received its reward. Stoop, Roman, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows and spread it on our swords. Then we shall walk about as far as to the marketplace, and waving our red swords over our heads, we shall all scream, peace, freedom, and liberty.
We want a satisfactory explanation. Explain to us.
Then follow me and give me a hearing, friends. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more.
I wonder what he is trying to say. Does he really love Rome?
As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I paused for a reply.
None, Brutus, none. None, Brutus, none. None, Brutus, none.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offences enforced, for which he suffered death.
Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his die, a place in the commonwealth, as of which you shall not. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live! Live, Brutus, live!
Live, Brutus, live!
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. the noble Brutus had told you, Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously had Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man.
After having killed Caesar, how can Brutus be an honorable man?
How can he?
How can he?
He had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this sin Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar had wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man.
Brutus? Honorable?
No way! You all did see that on the Lupercal, I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then, to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Poor Anthony, how sad. I can't believe this.
Poor Anthony.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather chose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's the parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. This his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read.
Read the will, we will hear Caesar's will. Read it, read the will, we will hear Caesar's will.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. This good you know that, you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will, read it, will.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
The will, the testament, read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave?
Come down.
Come down.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. That was a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervi. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, as he plucked his cursed steel away. Mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors, to be resolved, if Brutus so unkindly knocked, oh no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most and kindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops, kind souls. What? Weep you when you, but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here, He is himself marred, as you see, with traitors.
Kill them, kill them. Let us not spare a single person among them. Kill them, kill them.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, no utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits, and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
Mutiny.
Seek,
Burn.
fire,
Kill.
slay, let not a traitor live. Seek, burn, fire, kill, slay, let not a traitor live.
Now let it work. Mischief, thou art a fool. Take thou what course thou wilt.
As we navigate the complexities of our own world, let us remember the lessons of Julius Caesar. That leadership is not about personal ambition, but about serving the greater good. That loyalty and honor are essential virtues, and that the consequences of our actions can truly shape the course of history. In the end, it is not the length of our lives that matter, but the depth of our actions indeed. So let us strive to create a positive difference in this world together and leave a legacy that will outlast us. Thank you.